My name's Claire and I am from Soulbody Fitness. Now, just to let you know a little bit about what I do and what I offer one-to-one personal training, I offer group training, small group training and training in pairs. Some people like that accountability to train with a partner or a friend. I also offer nutritional guidance and advice. I'm a big believer in any nutritional changes we make are for life. Okay, I also offer mindset motivation. I do believe it's great in having a goal, but I also believe in the reasons behind why we're doing that goal. So if you've got weight that you want to lose or you're training for a half marathon, it's good to have an end goal, but it's also good to not worry too much about the destination but the journey along the way, and changing any habit patterns that you may have and beliefs within yourself. Okay, so what I'm here to tell you today and talk about today is functional fitness. Now I'm doing this for the channel YouTube people Hastings. Okay, so while we're in lockdown, I'm going to be talking about functional fitness. Now this is why this is so important in lockdown, is because our functional fitness which is movement patterns that we do every single day, we don't even think about. Okay, so it's stimulating our muscles working together to perform day-to-day activities. So the examples of that could be picking something up from the floor, it could be twisting around to get something from the back seat of the car, carrying shopping from the car. All those types of movements we do in our day-to-day activities and we do not think about them. Okay, and it's important that we have these for mobility, strength, for our range of motion, flexibility. Okay, so all of these are really, really important. And as I've touched on before, even more so in lockdown, everybody's routine isn't going to be the same as it normally is. So we're not taking the kids to school and going to work, so our functional movements aren't going to be as much. And a lot of people that I've spoken to have sort of spent a lot of time sitting down, muscles can seize up, and it's so important that we keep that functionality going. Okay, so performing any form of functional movement each day is really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you through the functional movements. There's 7 functional movements that we can use in exercise that mimic our day-to-day activities. Now the first one I'm going to do is the squat. So that would mimic, basically we use it every day. We sit down, we stand up every single day. Okay, getting out of bed. So what I'm going to do is take you through some of the exercises that you can do to keep that functionality going. Okay, so I haven't got a chair with me, but if you're just starting out and you're a beginner, you can use a chair. So basically, it would be just seated on the chair and standing up, on the chair and standing up. Okay, that is a functional movement. Okay, and we can vary that. So we can do a basic body weight squat. So I'm going to do that from the side so you can see we have our belly button in towards our spine. Okay, we are reaching back, knees behind toes and pushing up, down and pushing up. So there's variations to that we can do. We can add a pulse, down, up, down, pulse, down, up, down. We can also do a static squat. So basically knees behind the toes, core tight, you're just sitting into the movement. We can do this against a wall, and if we do it against a wall, we make sure that our back stays flat on the wall. Okay, and if you wanted to add a little jump, we can also do jump squats. So that's your first functional movement. The second functional movement is the lunge. Now we use the lunge every day in life, but not as exaggerated as when we're doing a lunge. So climbing upstairs, climbing up a hill, climbing up a ladder if you're a window cleaner. So basically the lunge movement is, I'm going to show you a static lunge first. So we bring one leg forward, we don't step into it, the knee doesn't want to go over the toe, we step down and we push up. Okay, so that is a static lunge. So we can do this here, and if you place your hand just underneath your bum and push up through the heel, you will feel that working. So you're coming down and up. So that is our static lunge. We can also do a forward facing lunge. So we step down, we come straight down with that movement, not forward. We come back. So that is our forward facing lunge. We've also got a reverse lunge. So we come back with this, come down, the leg comes back, core tight, belly button in towards the spine. Okay, reverse lunge. If we wanted to do a jump-in version of that for a little bit of cardio, we can do the split squat lunge, where we come down, here, here, here. Okay, now the third movement we do is push movements. Now push movements use mainly the anterior chain of the body, the front. Okay, so again, what we do is a press up. Now I don't have a chair available, but if you are a beginner, you can use a chair to do more of an elevated press up. And what I'm going to do is a floor press up. Okay, so I'm going to be going on the floor. Okay, so we start this on the knees. So if you are a beginner, what we want to do is keeping the belly button in towards the spine. We are going to come down, elbows back, hands under shoulders, push up. You want to imagine you're pushing the floor away from you. You can also do a plank full press up. Come down, push the floor away. Come down, push the floor away. That's a good functional movement. The movements we do every day for that, we're pushing buggies, pushing trolleys, pushing doors open, all those movements where we use that push-push. Another one that you could do with weights or without is you can just have your hands here and you squeeze round. So you're pushing through, working through that chest. Okay? Now the fourth one is pulling movement. Now what we can do to mimic that, we pick something up from the top shelf, we pull it down, we don't realise that that is our pull movement. Carrying shopping from the car, I know I'm guilty of it. Instead of one bag or two, I carry the whole lot. So I'm pulling them up. So all those types of movements, pulling the door open, so that's a functional movement. And the moves we can use for this is, okay, one foot forward the other. This is a unilateral move, so it works one side of the body. Okay, so you can have a dumbbell water bottle tin in your hand, and we're going to come down, hinge through the hips slightly, keeping the back nice and neutral. We're pulling back, back. Now these movements are good to do singly, so it can detect any muscle imbalances that we may have or any weakness on one side, and then you'd repeat that the other side. Another option would be to have your hands here, and we're just going to row back, pulling the scapula together in a row. And again, you can have dumbbells in your hand if you want to do this one, or a water bottle. Okay, another exercise for the pull is you can have a towel in your hand or a pole, and you're going to hold it here and pull it down. Squeeze that scapula together. Pull it down. Show you from the side and the back. Squeeze that down. Come up and down. And those are your functional pulling movements. Now, the next one we have is a twist. Now I know I'm often doing this. I'm in my car, I reach into the back seat to twist, and sometimes if our muscles aren't warm, it can pull, so we do have to be careful with that. So any twisting movements, even if someone's called you and you're walking down the street, you might just look back and you're twisting round and you don't realise. But we can do some of these moves standing up. So I'm going to show you the standing up one first, okay? So basically bring your hands here, and all we want to do is follow round. Twist, follow the eyes round, and we're going to rotate. Twist through that waist. Twist. Okay, another one we've got that we could use is opposite elbow to opposite knee. We're going to crunch down, crunch. So you're getting that rotation through the waist. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is on the floor. Okay, so we're going to take a seat. So basically, what we want to do with this one, this is called a Russian twist. Now I will stress that if you do have lower back problems, to leave the feet on the floor. Okay, some people do this with the feet off the floor and a weight. If you do have lower back problems, we don't want to load that anymore. So keep your feet on the floor. So we're going to come here like this, and I'm going to show you from the front how I'm going to twist. I'm going to keep my hand here. I'm just going to step round, and I'll follow it round with my eye, and we just touch to the back. That nice twisting movement that we've got all the way through. Getting that nice rotation in. Okay, so they're the twisting movements. And lastly, we've got the hinge movement. Okay, we do have hinge joints. through our elbows, through our knees, but the main one that we are using is through our hips. So we're hinging through the hips. So what will we do maybe in everyday life? Pick something up from the floor, hinge down to do our shoelaces up. And this is a classic one where people can maybe put their back out if they haven't warmed up through that. Okay, so hinge movement. I'll show you a couple of moves for this. So basically we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart. We're going to put the arms out in front and we want to create an L shape. So we're just going to come down here and hinge. You'll feel that pull in the back of the hamstrings, and we're going to come back up. Come down, come back up. Another one is what we call a deadlift. You can have weights, tins, a bottle of comfort each in each hand if you need to, or a kettlebell. So we're going to have the feet just maybe slightly wider than hip width apart, keeping the knees soft. And we are going to bring the hands down as close to the legs as possible. So we're hinging through here, belly button in towards spine, and we are coming down. Hinge, pull up, come down as far as over the shin, hinge and pull up, okay? So it's a nice fluid movement through those hips. Okay, so those are the types of movements you want to be doing every day. Another thing is, if you are getting out of bed or you've been sitting on the sofa or you've realised you've been sitting down for longer periods than normal in lockdown, I know it's been happening to a lot of people, they haven't been as mobile. These types of things are good to do every day. So you could pick one movement from each. You could have, even before you go for a walk maybe, you could do 10 squats, 10 lunges, maybe 10 pulling exercises, just 10 of each of them, just to keep that mobility going through the body. It's so important. Another thing that's been really, really great to do when you get out of bed or you get up from the couch is to do some mobility stretching. So literally just come round all the way through. Open up the chest, open up your beautiful heart, open it and bring it round, and then you come back the other way. This is a great one just to mobilise through that back and the shoulders. Another great one is to do the hip flexors. So we're going to take it out and out. I know I get very tight hip flexors if I've been driving, so we're coming out and out. Drive them hips forward, really open them hips up. Absolutely great. Another one we can do is just stand here and move round, move round, move round. Okay, and as well as mobilising the ankles, mobilising all the way through, mobilising the toes as well. You can see that. I'm going to do that, mobilising the toes. So these types of movements are great. So the routine could be get out of bed, do some mobility ones where you've stretched all the way through, and then maybe add some functional movements that I've shown you today just to take you through the day. Even if you perform them every other day, then you went for a walk, I promise you'll notice a difference. Because our muscles do get tight when we've been sitting down a lot, so it's so important that we keep that flexibility going. Another thing I wanted to touch on while we are in lockdown, and obviously we have this virus going around, is the importance of keeping your immune system healthy. Okay, so if you're going to eat, it's good to have a little bit of something of what you love, but it's also good to keep a nice balance of the good macros, which is the good fats, proteins and the carbs. So if you think of the colours of the rainbow in the fruit and the veg, they are the ideal things to eat to make sure our immune system is kept healthy. And another thing is also our mindset. So I know for all different reasons people are going to have uncertainty for whatever reason. Every single person is going to be different in what worries they've got, whether it's for loved ones, whether it's for finance, whether it's just their mind. We can overthink in these situations. So a little tip that if you are waking up and you do find that you're having a bad day, is go easy on yourself. Okay, well, we are not our thoughts. That's one thing we must remember. Okay, so when a thought comes in, we can tend to then ruminate on that thought, and it follows us throughout the day. Okay, and that's a really difficult thing to try and grasp and stop. Okay, we're worrying about things that haven't happened or may have happened we can't do anything about. So a few little tips on that is to bring your awareness into it. As soon as you become aware of a thought, you stop the ability of it embedding. Okay, so you're taking away its power straight away. Write some things down. Ask yourself, how true is this? you could ring a friend, talk it through, just to get it out there, okay? And then move your energy about, and it doesn't have to be anything vigorous. You don't have to get up and jump up and do 10 burpees. You could do just some of the mobility moves that I've shown you today. But it's so important that when you do wake up and the days aren't so good, it's easy for people to say, be positive, stay in a positive mindset, but it's not always easy, but it is achievable. So on them days, just be kind to yourself and nurture yourself, because that's so important. So this has been Claire from Soulbody Fitness. I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook, so go over there to give me a follow and give me a like. Thank you for listening to me today, and namaste, beautiful souls.